welcome to this yin yoga practice. My name is Kate. I am going to be taking you through this practice today. If you haven't done a yin yoga practice before, you may be looking at me thinking, why is she wearing a woolly jumper? A yin practice is generally really quite a slow practice. We're really working on keeping the body cool rather than heating the body up. We're targeting not the muscles, but we're targeting the fascia, the deeper tissues, which are sometimes where we can find we hold a lot of tension. So if this is your first class and you're somewhere cold like I am, I'm in Scotland, it's freezing, you may want to pop on a jumper, you might want to pop on some socks, and if you want one for the end of your practice, grab yourself a blanket. I would also recommend that you grab yourself a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, a big sturdy cushion will do. And let's get started. So pop your cushion to one side. Take a moment just to arrive on your mat. Any comfortable seated position, and just take a moment to breathe. Whatever time of day it is with you, just allow yourself to let go of everything that's happened before. Trying to let go of anything that might be coming after you finish this practice. Drawing the focus into the body. Just taking a couple of slow breaths in and out through the nose here. Just letting go of any stress, anything that's going on today. Taking a moment to check in with the body, just being aware of any aches and pains, anything tight or stiff going on within your body today. And just being aware of this, being gentle with yourself as we flow through our practice today. Taking one more deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And then slowly moving into our first position, keeping your eyes closed if you want to. We're just going to bring the soles of the feet to touch. Bring your hands to wrap around those toes. Take a moment to play with the position you're in here. If you feel like your knees are quite high and they feel a little unstable here, you can always pop a couple of cushions or a couple of blocks underneath your knees. And if this feels like enough for you today, if you can feel what we call the edge, if you can feel that opening, lengthening sensation within the body, and that's absolutely fine. Hold it here. If you feel like you need a little bit more today, just to give you that opening sensation, and just taking a deep breath in, and as you exhale, gently come forwards. So we're focusing on the hips today. So don't worry about keeping the back straight. Don't worry about drawing the chest forwards. We're keeping things nice and relaxed today. Allow the chin to tuck into the chest and allow the spine to round. And just be aware of that sensation in and around the hips, in and around the groin. As we flow through our practice today, I'm going to draw your attention back to our tenets of yin. So when we're practicing our yin, we flow through these 4 things each time we come into a posture. So initially we come into the posture and we're looking for that edge. And that can be a physical edge, it can be a mental edge sometimes, an emotional edge. But looking for that place, that position where you can feel a beneficial stretch, a beneficial opening for the body. Once you've found that, then taking a moment just to really relax the muscles. It's not always possible to relax all of the muscles, but trying to relax the ones around the area that we're really focusing on today. So around the hips, around those thighs. And once you've done that, finding that stillness within the body, stillness within the mind. Making a little promise to yourself to stay still. And then drawing the focus away from the body to your breath. Using our breath to help us gently relax into the pose. Holding it here for 3 more breaths. Slowly, gently, we're going to roll ourselves all the way back up. Keep your chin tucked in and find your way all the way back up to a nice straight spine, chin coming up last. Take a moment here just to enjoy that sensation of release through the thighs and through the back. Maybe have a little wiggle. And then bring the hands behind just to give you a little support. Draw those knees together, and we're just going to drop the knees to one side and then to the other just to give them a little stretch. Just releasing any tension, any energy that built up in those hips during that stretch. Once more. And then coming back to center. We're going to take our legs wide. I hope the soles of my feet are not dirty. I can't see from here. I hope they're not. So we're going to find our way into a wide-legged forward fold. One thing I would say here is be very aware of your inner knees. If you feel any tightness, any stretching or pinching in the inner knees, please draw your legs closer together. Even if that means your legs are here today, that is absolutely fine. Find that position, have a little play with your legs. Find that place where you feel open, stretched. You can feel the body challenging itself a little bit. And then we're going to grab our cushion or our bolster, and you have a couple of options here. You can pop your bolster or your cushion upright, and then you can bring the head to rest on your bolster. If that's as far as you want to go today, why not? It's very comfy, I love it. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can bring your bolster in front of you. My bolster is quite thin, so I wouldn't rest straight onto it, but what is nice is to just bring your elbows to the bolster and then rest your chin here on your hands. Now taking a moment, remembering those 4 tenets of yin. So checking in with the body, looking for those positive opening sensations, so we can feel that stretch on the inner thigh. You can maybe feel a little stretch through the back of the legs into the glutes, a little compression in these hips. Finding that edge, making a point of relaxing. So if you feel quite tight here, if you feel like you can't relax, come up a little bit higher. Remembering that we are observing the body, working with the body always, never against the body. Looking for those positive releasing sensations. Relax those muscles. Be as relaxed as you can be here. Making that little promise to yourself to stay still and drawing that focus to the breath. And the reason that we relax the muscles, make that point of relaxing the muscles, is because we're not targeting the muscles while we're here. We're really looking to target that deeper tissue, the fascia, all the connective tissues. And these tissues benefit in a different way, in a different kind of movement than our muscles. They tend to react well to holding a posture for a longer period of time, holding the posture still, gently stressing these tissues, helping to encourage hydration into these tissues, which are normally not very well supplied by blood vessels. Nourishing these tissues. Taking 3 more breaths here. Slowly rolling yourself all the way back up. Take a moment, enjoy that sensation of release. Give the body a little shuggle. Move your bolster out of the way. Draw those legs back together and give them a little shuggle. Give those legs a little shake, a little shuggle. Rolling from one side to the other. And then we're going to come into what can be quite an interesting posture. It's called frog. I would definitely encourage you to take your time here. If you find this a challenging posture, I would say come out of it, come back in. You can always do a happy baby pose instead. So we're going to start by rolling the ends of our mats up. We're going to come onto the knees, the inside of the knees. So we want to make sure that that area is well protected, well padded. So bring your mat rolled in, pop one knee on one side and one knee on the other. Have your knees and ankles in a straight line. You can flex your feet or you can point your feet. It's entirely up to you. See what feels more comfortable for you. And then we're bringing the body forwards. So you want to have your hips pressing back here and bringing the body to rest onto your cushion or your bolster or your forearms. If you feel like you're not getting much of a stretch here, take the knees a little bit wider and then press those hips back again. This can be a very, very tight area for a lot of people. So if you are finding this a little too challenging for you, come up, come out nice and carefully, and come into our happy baby pose. So for everybody else, bring your knees to the mat, ankles in line with your knees, feet flexed or pointed, whichever works for you. Bring that bolster or cushion in front of you and just gently rest yourself down on your mat. This is one of those poses which I find really quite challenging, and the challenge to stay still here, the challenge to relax the muscles, is quite a tough one for me. Take your time here and always, always remember that if this feels uncomfortable, if it feels too hard, come out and come into that alternative posture. Run through those tenets of yin, so finding that edge, I'm sure it's really obvious to a lot of people. It's certainly obvious to me. And then relax the muscles that you can here. Make that little promise to yourself that you will stay still. Try not to move. Trying to get in those deep tissues. I know it's challenging. Try your best. Your best is always good enough, remember that. And draw your focus to your breath. The reason that we use our breath so much in yoga class, one of the reasons, is because it is quite often the first sign that you might be pushing yourself a little too hard. So if you're finding it's not easy to do those nice, deep, slow breaths that you want to be doing during your practice, you may need to come out of the posture, whatever posture it is. Maybe try coming back in at a slightly lesser angle, or try something different. Maybe just taking a nice child's pose, giving the body a little bit of time. Holding it here, 3 more breaths. Slowly, slowly, with control, press into those hands, lift the torso, lift all the way back up. Walk those knees back in nice and slowly, bring them together. Come to sit on your heels for a moment. If sitting on your heels is a bit challenging, try sitting on your bolster. just take a couple of moments here, just enjoying that sensation. One more deep breath in and exhale. If you're in your baby pose, come back up to join us on our knees. Now, if you want to stay sitting on your cushion, please do. If you feel like this is a little too tough for your knees as it is, also add another cushion, or if you have a couple of blocks, you can pop a couple of blocks under your sit bones. We're just going to hold it here. Some people find this position quite challenging because they have very tight ankles, very tight fronts of the ankles. If that is you, you can always roll up your mats and just roll it up and pop your ankles over that roll, just to give them a little bit more space and create a slightly less extreme stretch on that front of the ankle. Holding it here. Allow the eyes to close. Just taking a few breaths here, sitting on our heels. One more deep breath. And then bringing those hands back out in front. Let's come into our tabletop position. Give those ankles a little stretch. So you might want to press back through that left heel, draw that leg back in, press back through the right. Maybe doing this a couple of times just to stretch out the leg. Then we're going to tuck our toes under. Press through those hands. We're going to come up into a dangle, so into our forward fold here. Bend those knees, a nice deep bend in those knees. Really let the belly rest on those thighs. Grab opposite elbows here. If you feel unstable here, you can always press those hands to the floor. Another option here is to come and rest the back of the body or the bum against the wall, just to give you that little bit of extra stability if you feel like you need it. Let the head go here. Let go of any tension that you're holding in the neck and shoulders. Keeping that softness in the knees. Running through those tenets of yin, finding your way through that stillness to the breath. Two more deep breaths here. And then bending those knees. Find your way all the way back down onto your mat. Find your way roughly to the middle of your mat. Grab a hold of your knees. Roll yourself back down. Take a moment here just to roll that lower back into the mat a little bit. And then we're going to cross our left leg over the right knee. So crossing that left ankle over the knee. Use that left hand just to gently press that left knee away from you. Now if this feels like enough for you today, if you're feeling a stretch through the outside of the thigh, through into that glute, then absolutely perfect. Hold it here. If you feel like you need to take it a little bit further today, sending that left hand through in between, grabbing a hold of either your shin or the back of your thigh, drawing that knee towards you. So drawing your left shin towards your chest. Keeping that left foot flexed here. Take that time just to allow the muscles to relax. Specifically here, relax the jaw, relax the neck, relax those shoulders. Really trying not to hold any tension here. Keeping a little bit of tension in those arms, just enough so that we're creating that nice stretch to the outside of the left thigh. Holding it here. Finding your way to your breath. Three more breaths here. Slowly, gently release that right leg towards the floor. Uncross that left leg. Draw both of those knees into the chest. Give them a little squeeze. Have a little rock and roll here. And then bringing that left foot to the floor. This time we're going to cross that right foot over the left again. Taking that left hand to the right hand to the right knee. Pressing it away from you. If that feels like enough today, that's fine. Hold it here. If you want something a little bit more challenging, then gently drawing those legs towards you. And just taking a moment to just be aware of whether this side feels easier or maybe a little bit harder than the other. For me, this side is much tighter. You may have noticed that I have very tight hips. Anyway, constantly work in progress. Take a moment, work through those phases of our practice. So find that place where you can feel that beneficial stretch, that opening, that lengthening. Relax all of the muscles that you can. Make a point of relaxing those shoulders, relax the neck, relax the jaw. Find that stillness. And then draw your focus to your breath. Squeaky doors in this house today. Take your time here. Focus on that breath. Three more breaths here. And then slowly releasing that left leg down to the floor. I was about to say right again. My rights and lefts have gone. Uncross that leg. Draw both those knees into the chest. Have a little rock and roll here. And then bringing those feet to the floor. Let the knees flop out to the side. So we're going to let the soles of the feet touch. Bring the arms by the sides of the body. Take a moment just to check in here. If you feel like there's any pinching going on in the hips, maybe pop a couple of cushions under those knees. Take your time. Coming into our final position here. Wonderful opener for those inner thighs. Getting into those hips. Complete quiet, complete stillness here. Three more breaths here. Drawing those knees back together nice and slow. Draw them into the chest, give them one more little squeeze. Bring the feet back to the floor and just gently drop the knees from one side back to center and then to the other. Extend your legs long along your mat. Take the legs slightly apart. Allow those toes to relax out to the sides. Bring the arms by the sides of the body, palms facing the sky. Allow your eyes to close. And allow the body to relax. Giving the body a little bit of time just to create space for all of this new stretch that we've created. Giving those tissues that time they need to replenish. Allowing the whole body to relax. Taking as much time as you need here. I'm going to end the video here. I hope you enjoyed this practice. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Thank you.